Disclaimer: this is a work of fiction created for entertainment purpose only, not affiliated with BTS or Big Hit Entertainment. Characters and storylines are fictional and for entertainment purpose only. If you are homophobic, then please just leave. Tigers Bunny promote respect and kindness. Time skip. Every day had started to feel brighter. Maybe it was the way Jungkook smiled now. Still shy, still soft, but a little more open every time. Maybe it was the way he leaned closer when they stayed together, whispering little things just for Taehyung's ear. Or maybe it was just the way he made Taehyung feel like the rest of the world had faded and only he remained. They met every day now after class, in between lectures, no matter how short the moment, they always found each other. Sometimes they would sit by the pond in the back of campus, Jungkook nibbling on strawberry milk bread while Taehyung made ridiculous faces to make him giggle. Other times they just walked in silence, hands brushing, not quit holding, hearts racing. And today Taehyung couldn't take it anymore. He had to tell him. The spring air was soft and golden as Taehyung led Jungkook up to the rooftop they often visited. The sky was pink-orange, the cloud painted like a love letter. Jungkook: Hyungi, why are you being weird? Jungkook asked, clutching his drink, eyes blinking curiously. Taehyung: I'm not weird, Bunny, Taehyung said, trying to act casual, failing completely. Jungkook: you are frightening. Taehyung: I'm not. Okay, fine, maybe a little. He huffed. Jungkook tilted his head, lips forming that tiny bunny pout. Taehyung stared at it for a second too long, then sighed. I like you, Jungkook blinked. I know, Taehyung smiled nervously. No, I don't mean just like, I mean, I think I'm falling for you. Jungkook mouth parted, his fingers tightening around the cane he was holding. Taehyung stepped closer, gaze soft. You are mysterious. Quit. Sometimes it's like you disappear in your own little world. And I don't know what you are thinking. He reached up and tucked a strand of hair behind Jungkook's ear. But I love that world. I want to be the part of it. Jungkook looked up at him, cheeks pink, lips trembling just slightly. Do you mean it? He whispered. Taehyung nodded. I am in love with you, Jungkook. A shaky breeze left Jungkook's lips. Then he dropped his drink, threw his arm around Taehyung, and buried his face in his chest. Taehyung blinked. Bunny. Jungkook: I love you too, Hyungi. Jungkook burst out, voice muffled in Taehyung's hoodie. I have been trying not to say it because it felt too soon and you are so perfect and I'm just. Taehyung laughed full and warm, hugging him tight. You could have said it 100 years ago and I would still say it back, Bunny. They pulled apart just enough to see each other's face. Jungkook was flushed and glowing, eyes glossy, lips parted like he was still catching up with what just happened. And then Taehyung leaned in and kissed him, soft, at first, sweet. But then Jungkook whimpered, fingers curling into Taehyung's jackets, and the kiss deepened, slow and warm, full of everything they would both been holding in. When they pulled back, Jungkook was breathless. Jungkook: I thought you would never say it, he whispered. Taehyung: I was scared. Taehyung smiled. You felt too good to be true, Jungkook. I am. Jungkook whispered with a giggle. Taehyung didn't hear the deeper truth behind those words, not yet. Because right now all he could see was his bunny smiling, blushing, his. At first, it was little things, Jungkook tugging on Taehyung's sleeve when he talked too long with someone else, about whenever another student leaned in too close, whining softly when Taehyung was busy with club meetings and couldn't meet after class. It was cute, at least Taehyung thought so. His precious bunny was just clingy, right? Until it wasn't just pouts anymore. It started when Taehyung laughed too loudly at something his friend Namjoon said. They were in the cafeteria, Jungkook sitting quietly beside him, sipping his strawberry milk through a straw. He was silent the entire time, eyes locked onto Taehyung's side profile, watching burning. When Namjoon left, Taehyung turned to Jungkook with a smile. Taehyung, you okay when Jungkook didn't look at him? Jungkook, why were you laughing so much with him? Taehyung blinked. Huh, Jungkook? You were leaning close. You touched his shoulder. Taehyung chuckled awkwardly. Cool, I always do that. He's my friend. Jungkook, lips pressed into a thin line. You don't touch me like that when we are in public. It was, that voice, soft but sharp, trembling at the edge of something deeper. Taehyung reached out to hold his hand. Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you, Bunny. Jungkook finally looked at him, and that look, it wasn't soft. It was full of jealousy, obsession, fear. I just don't like people near you. Taehyung smiled faintly and lifted Jungkook's hand to his lips. Then I won't let them near me, okay? You are my only one. That made Jungkook melt again immediately, like flipping a switch. He climbed onto Taehyung's lap, arm wrapping around his shoulders, despite the crowd around them. Jungkook, mine. Jungkook mumbled into his neck. Only mine. Taehyung laughed softly and hugged him tight. Yours always. But it didn't stop here. Taehyung started to notice his other friends backing off. Sujin stopped texting. Jimin only waved from across the hallway now, and Husuk avoided him completely. After one incident Taehyung didn't fully understand. Taehyung, did you say something to Bobby Bunny? Taehyung asked one day, brushing Jungkook's hair as they laid on the grass. Jungkook blinked innocently. No. Taehyung tilted his head. He won't even look at me. Jungkook smiled. Then he is learning. Every time Taehyung talked to someone too long, every time someone complimented him, every time someone even smiled at him, Jungkook clung tighter, cried softly, whimpered that he felt ignored. Jungkook, you don't love me anymore, Youngie, he would whisper. And every time Taehyung would pull him closer. Taehyung, no, my baby, of course I do. Jungkook, then don't talk to them. Taehyung, okay, I won't. Jungkook, only touch me. Taehyung, pricking his lips. I will only touch you, love. Then Jungkook would sniffle and pout and let Taehyung kiss his tears away. Jungkook, I love you too much, he would whisper, and Taehyung would smile, not seeing the danger. Taehyung, then love me as much as you want, my bunny. What Taehyung didn't know was that the people around him were not just leaving him, they were being scared away, threatened. In silence, watched. Jungkook never yelled, never screamed, never made a scene. He just made sure they disappeared one by one. And Taehyung too lost in soft kisses and pretty whines to notice. Time skip. The morning felt wrong, empty. For the first time in weeks, Jungkook wasn't waiting by the courtyard tree with warm coffee and pink cheeks. There was no bunny giggles, no shy hug, no soft pout demanding a kiss before class, just silence. Taehyung, maybe he is sick, Taehyung mutters to himself, checking his phone for the fifth time. Still no messages. He called, no answer. He called again, voicemail. His chest tightens. Jungkook never ignored him, not once. By lunchtime, a worry had taken over. He skipped class and made his way to the dorm, climbing the familiar staircase to Jungkook's room. Knocked, no response. His heart thudded. Taehyung, "Who? It's me. Open up," he said gently through the door. Still nothing. The hallway was empty. Quit. He tried the handle, unlocked. The moment he stepped inside, something shifted. The air was still, too still. Jungkook wasn't inside, but the curtains were drawn, the desk lamp glowing faintly, and the room smelled like lavender and vanilla. The scent Taehyung always wore, too much like him. Then his eyes moved to the wall across the bed and he froze. A sharp, involuntary breath left his lungs. Theon. What there covering the wall from floor to ceiling was him. Pictures, hundreds of them. Theon laughing, walking, sitting in class, tying his shoes, sleeping on the library table, leaning against a locker, brushing his hair back, holding a drink, smiling at someone else. Some photos were recent, but others were from before they even spoke, before Taehyung had even noticed Jungkook. His fingers trembled as he reached out and touched one. He was standing by the vending machine, headphones in, looking down at his phone. He didn't even remember the moment, but Jungkook did. He remembered everything. A sound escaped Taehyung's throat, half gasp, half breathless shock. He stepped back, dizzy. Taehyung, what the hell is this? He stumbled to the bed, sat down, and shakily picked up Jungkook's journal that lay half open. It was filled with sketches of him, my Taehyung, mine only. You smiled at someone else today. I erased him after. No one will ever love you like I do. They don't deserve to see your smile. Taehyung's stomach turned, his heart raced. With fear, guilt, confusion, all tangled, he grabbed his phone, called Jimin. Taehyung, Jimin answered confused. Everything okay, Taehyung? Tell me the truth, Taehyung said shakily. Why did you stop hanging out with me? Silence then. Jimin, he told me to. Taehyung, who? Jimin, Jungkook. Taehyung closed his eyes. Jimin, continued voice low and full of guilt. He came to me after class, smiling soft but his eyes. He said if I didn't stay away from you, something bad would happen. Not to me, to you, Taehyung. I watched Jimin. He wasn't joking, Tai. He knew everything about us, your schedule, who you talked to. I didn't want to risk it. I'm sorry. Taehyung dropped the phone, his head spun. He looked around the room, the shrine, the drawings. The scent of himself everywhere. And suddenly he wasn't sure if this was love at all or if he would walk right into a beautiful, obsessive nightmare. The door cracked open behind him. Taehyung didn't move. He just sat there on the bed, still staring at the wall, at the hundreds of photos, notes, and sketches, all centered around one thing, him. The room filled with soft footsteps, then silence. Jungkook. Taehyung didn't answer. Jungkook stood frozen near the doorframe, eyes wide as he followed Taehyung's gaze, and saw it. Everything, his whole world uncovered, the wall of obsession, the shrine, the truth. He dropped the bag in his hand. It hit the floor with a soft thud. Jungkook. No, Jungkook whispered, panic rising. No, no, no. He rushed to the wall, desperately trying to tear the pictures down, scraping his hand against the paper, ripping at the tape, showing books off the desk. You were not supposed to see this. I was gonna take it down. I was going to clean it up. Please. Taehyung still didn't speak, just stared, not in horror, not in fear, just stunned. Like the world had tilted sideways and he was trying to find his footing again. Jungkook turned to him, breathing heavily, his voice cracking, his eyes were glossy, shaking. Youngie, I didn't mean for you to find out this way. I swear, I loved you before you even knew my name, and I couldn't help it. He dropped to his knees in front of Taehyung, fist clenched against his thighs. You are the only good thing in my life. I just wanted to protect you. That's all I wanted. Still no answer. Jungkook. Voice broke completely. You are going to leave me, aren't you? He bowed his head, tears falling freely now. You should. I would leave me too. Theon finally moved just barely. He blinked once, slowly, then finally whispered, Bunny. The nickname fell from his lips like a question and a prayer. Jungkook looked up, his whole body trembling. Theon's eyes softened, even a confusion still clouded his face. What is this? And why? Jungkook's lips trembled. Because I love you, Yoongi. I love you so much. It hurts. I love you so much. I can't stand the idea of anyone else looking at you. He grabbed Theon's hand. I'm not normal. I know I'm possessive and broken and twisted. But I never wanted to hurt you. I just wanted to keep you forever. Theon stared down at him, not afraid, not angry, just overwhelmed. His voice was barely a breath. You really thought I would run? Jungkook didn't speak because yes, that's exactly what he thought. His whole life people had run, but Taehyung didn't move. Instead, slowly, so slowly, he reached down and wiped the tears off Jungkook's cheeks with trembling fingers. Taehyung, you scared me, he whispered. Jungkook flinched, but then, not because of the wall or the photos, because you looked like you were breaking. Jungkook's breath hitched. Taehyung cupped his face gently. I don't know what this means yet. I don't understand at all of it. But I do know this. He leaned down, kissed Jungkook's forehead softly. I'm still here. Jungkook broke, then collapsed into Taehyung's chest, sobbing silently, clutching his shirt like a lifeline. You shouldn't stay, he whispered, but I don't want you to go. Taehyung held him tighter. Then I won't love, and for now, that was enough. The dorm room was quiet now. The wall of photos still stood exposed, chaotic, torn in places, but Taehyung no longer looked at it. His focus was only on Jungkook. The boy was curled on the floor, knees pulled to his chest, shaking with each breath. Tears streamed down his cheeks, hiccups wrecked his small frame. He looked so low, so fragile, so terrified. Taehyung knelt beside him and gently reached out. Who? He whispered, voice thick with emotion. Jungkook looked up, eyes red, lower lips trembled, hands gripping the fabric of his hoodie. Don't go, he croaked. Don't leave me. Taehyung didn't answer. With words, he simply pulled Jungkook into his arms, lifting him gently like he weighed nothing, like he was the most precious thing in this world, and sat down on the bed with the boy in his lap. He rocked him softly, kissed his hair. Shh, I have got you, he murmured. I'm here, Bunny, I'm here. Jungkook clung to him tightly, face buried in the crook of Taehyung's neck. Everyone leaves, he whispered, voice raw. Everyone leaves, and I can't do it again. Taehyung kissed the corner of his wet eyes. I'm not them. Jungkook hiccuped hard, his words trembling out like broken pieces. Amma left. She said she would be back, but she never came home. Appa stopped looking at me like I was invisible. I used to wait the doorway every day, thinking maybe today, maybe this time. He choked on a sob, fingers curling around Taehyung's collar. I started to believe no one would ever stay, so when you smiled at me, when you noticed me, it scared me more than anything. Taehyung pressed his lips to Jungkook's trembling forehead. Shh, love, Jungkook. I thought if I could just hold on to you, if I made sure no one could take you away, I would be safe, you would be mine. But I ruined it. You hate me now. Taehyung cupped his cheeks, gently forcing him to look up. Look up. Shh, calm down, Bunny. I don't hate you. He kissed his cheeks. I don't hate the wall. I don't hate your love. He rested their forehead together, breathing slowly. What I hate is that you ever thought you had to be perfect to keep me. Jungkook sobbed again, wrapping his arm around Taehyung's neck, voice cracking. Don't leave me, Yoongi. I love you so much. Taehyung held him tighter. Never, you hear me, Bunny? I'm never leaving. Even if your love is messy, even if you're scared, even if the whole world turns against you, I'm yours. And I love my cute little bunny so much. Jungkook blinked at him, wide, shattered, and overwhelmed. Taehyung kissed him again, gentle, reassuring, deep. I love you, he whispered between kisses. I love you so damn much. I am staying no matter what. Jungkook's body finally relaxed in his arms, still trembling, still crying. But safe, held, wanted. That night, Taehyung didn't leave. He sat with Jungkook in his lap for hours, rocking him slowly, whispering soft things into his ear while the boy drifted between hiccups and exhaustion. He didn't need answers. He didn't need the perfect love story. He just needed his bunny. Filled with the warm smell of soy noodles and garlic toast. Taehyung stood in Jungkook's tiny KitchenAid, sleeves rolled up, humming as he stirred the pot. Behind him, Jungkook padded around barefoot in one of Taehyung's oversized hoodies, the sleeves too long, his cheeks pink, eyes glowing with sleepy joy. Taehyung. Nuna at the cafe said this would taste better with chili oil. Taehyung mutters. Jungkook wrapped his arms around Taehyung's waist from behind, resting his chin on his shoulder. Yoongi always smells like vanilla and trouble. Taehyung chuckled, setting the spoon down and turning around to cup Jungkook's face. And you smell like obsession and strawberry milk. Jungkook giggles, hiding his face in Taehyung's chest. They ate together, sitting on the floor, legs tangled. Jungkook kept feeding Taehyung spoonfuls like a clingy puppy, and Taehyung let him, smiling with every bite. Taehyung, you are glowing bunny, he teased, wiping sauce from the corner of Jungkook's mouth. Jungkook, because I have never been this happy, Jungkook whispered. Later they curled up into the bed together, bodies close under this blanket, the lamp casting soft glow. Jungkook laid half on the top of Taehyung, head resting against his chest, finger tracing little circles on his stomach. Taehyung stroked his hair gently, eyes thoughtful, soft, lips pressing to Jungkook's temple now and then. Taehyung, cool, he said quietly in between kisses. Can I ask you something? Jungkook blinked, peering up at him with sleepy doe eyes. Taehyung, why did you threaten my friends? Jungkook froze slightly, but Taehyung's voice remained calm, warm, loving. Taehyung, you told Jimin something would happen to me if he didn't stay away. Hosek too, probably the others. Jungkook pouted immediately, his brows frowned like a guilty child. They were too close, he mumbles. Taehyung smiled softly, brushing his fingers through Jungkook's hair. They were just my friends, love, Jungkook, but they touched you, laughed too loud, looked at you like you belonged to them, Jungkook whined. And you do not, you are mine. He buried his face in Taehyung's neck, voice muffled. They don't know how to love you, they don't know how to protect you. I do, Taehyung kissed his forehead gently but bunny, threatening people. Jungkook sat up on his elbows, bow deepening. I didn't hurt them, I just warned them. He blinked suddenly, smiling like he didn't just admit to a soft blackmail. And it worked. Taehyung couldn't help but laugh. He grabbed Jungkook and pulled him back into his arm. You're such a dangerous little thing, he whispered. Jungkook giggles, curling into him like the world didn't matter. Only for you. Taehyung cupped his jaws, kissed him deeply, slow and lingering. No more scaring my friends, Jungkook whined. But they, Taehyung kissed his pout. You have me. All of me. You don't need to scare anyone else away. Jungkook nodded slowly. Okay, but if they ever look at you weird again, Taehyung raised and brow. What will you do? Jungkook grinned innocently. Smile. Then make sure they never want to look again. Taehyung shook his head, fully wiped, fully toned, and fully in love. God, I love my scary little bunny. The night air was still, curtains half closed, lamplight soft and warm. The room smelled like lavender, noodles, and a little bit like Taehyung's cologne, now rubbed into Jungkook's sheets, pillows, and hoodie. They lay chest to chest on the bed, hearts beating against each other through this thin cotton. Taehyung stared down at his bunny. Jungkook looked up at him with glassy eyes, lips parted, cheeks flushing like pink clouds. Jungkook, I still feel like I'm dreaming. Jungkook whispered that you are really mine. Taehyung smiled, brushing a hand down his cheeks. I have always been yours, Go. You just loved me before I could love you back. Jungkook breathed, caught his hands gripped Taehyung's shirt tight. Can I have all of you? Yoongi whispered. Can I keep you completely? Taehyung leaned down, lips coasting across Jungkook's chest to his throat, then back to his lips. You already do. The kiss was slow, not rushed, not hungry, just deep, full of emotion, quite soft. Between gasps, love woven into every touch, soft press of lips and tongue. Taehyung rolled his hips slowly and Jungkook whimpers under him. You are shaking, Taehyung whispered against his ear. Jungkook, because I love you too much, Jungkook confessed breathlessly. Taehyung kissed down his neck, biting softly. Then show me. Clothes fell away slowly like petals being plucked, whispered giggles in between shy glances, fingers trembling at first touch. Taehyung took his time. He kissed every inch of Jungkook's body like it was sacred. Each freckles, each scar, each soft curve and sharp edge. Taehyung, you are so beautiful, he whispered, pressing his lips just below Jungkook's belly button and making him arch with a mouth. Jungkook pulled Taehyung down, whining, touch me, Yoongi, make me yours. Taehyung slid his hand under Jungkook's thighs, lifting it slowly as their body aligned. Jungkook gasped, hands trying to grip Taehyung's shoulder. Taehyung, I'm here, baby, I'm right here. Taehyung moved gently, pressing kisses to Jungkook's. Nods, his cheeks, his eyelids, all while rocking into him with deep loving. Jungkook clung to him. Don't stop, don't ever leave me, please, Taehyung. Never love, Taehyung whispered, holding him tighter. Never leaving, I'm yours forever. Their bodies moved as one, skin slick with heat, lips swollen, breath raged. Jungkook cried out Taehyung's name when he came, shaking like he would unravel completely, like every broken piece of him finally found him home in the arms of someone who didn't run. Taehyung followed soon after, whispering I love yous into Jungkook's open mouth as he kissed him slowly. After Jungkook lay with his face against Taehyung's chest, their fingers laced, his voice was small, sleepy. You are not scared of me, Taehyung kissed the top of his head. No, Bunny, Jungkook, even if I'm too much, Taehyung smiled. You are everything I have ever wanted. That night, under soft sheets and whispered promises, Jungkook finally believed he was loved, and Kim Taehyung, he wasn't captured. He wasn't captured by obsession, he walked into it willingly. Because sometimes the kind of love that clings too tight is the one that never lets go.